always get the blonde in the picture.
Russ, you gotta dye your hair.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to Cruisin' 66 2019, sponsored by the Willowbrook Burr Ridge Chamber of Commerce. Today is a beautiful day. We have a lot of cars showing up. We got a lot of trophies to give out this year. So we welcome all those that showed up for all the activities, and I hope they enjoy the day. Enjoy the next video.
Welcome to US Classic Muscle Cars. Please enjoy this next video, but before that, please subscribe, like us, give us a thumbs up, share our videos. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Roger Wilson. This is my 1921 REO Model T6. This car, I've had it about a year now. I purchased it out of the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area. The REO stood for Ransom Eli Olds. Ransom first started the company called Oldsmobile that everybody is pretty familiar with, and he sold off shares of his company in order to have capital to work with. In the process of doing that, he sold off too many shares and he lost controlling interest of his own company. The board of directors and Ransom got into a little bit of a dispute. As I understand it, the dispute was over the design of the automobile. Ransom wanted to continue to make the curved dash olds, and the board of directors wanted to start moving away from that into something that didn't look so much like a carriage. As a result of that, they wound up firing him from his own company, and he sold them the rest of his shares when that happened, and he went out to start another company. He was going to call the new company Olds Motor Works, and the board of directors sued him over that because they said that was too close to Oldsmobile. They did win that lawsuit, and so Ransom then determined that he would use his initials, Ransom Eli Olds, REO, and called the car REO. He organized in 1904. The first car was in 1905 by the time he had tooled up, and he made cars through 1936. He began making trucks around 1909, and the trucks in some form or fashion made it to 1975. In that era, there was a company called Diamond T, and there was REO, and they merged together, and they became the Diamond REO, which was some school buses, over-the-road trucks, garbage trucks, that kind of stuff. So yeah, in some form or fashion, the REO name made it to 1975. On this particular car, this is, like I said, a 1921. It's what's referred to as a touring car. A lot of people think it's a convertible, but by definition, convertible has windows that roll up versus this has no side windows. It does have side curtains that you can snap on in the event of inclement weather, but to be honest, they're pretty much useless. It was an idea that a lot of manufacturers used. It just really wasn't very practical.
Wow.
This car is a 6-cylinder, and it's 50 horsepower, this car, when it was brand new, was $1,850. And when you compare that to the competitors, a Model T was going for $535. So you could have bought 3 Model Ts for the price of this car. So this car was competing against Cadillac and Buick in the marketplace, which of course was the upper end of the market.
Huh. And then did you already speak to where you found this?
Yeah, this car, I picked it up in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then how is the car to drive?
Well, it drives pretty good for a vintage vehicle. I mean, you gotta understand the year and what the roads may have been like back then, which was pretty much ruts.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it drives okay. It cruises pretty good at about 35 miles an hour. You can go a little faster than that, but you start to feel like you're crowding it at that point. But of course, everybody always wants to know how fast you can drive it. But the more important question is, how fast can you stop? Because it only has brakes on the rear wheel, and it's all mechanical. It's rods and levers.
Wow.
So
wow.
the key is being able to get the thing stopped.
Wow.
Wow,
look at that. That's incredible.
Yeah, wood spoke wheels.
That's incredible. And then we're looking at the engine, and
Yeah, this is the engine. This is a 6-cylinder. On this car, it's kind of got a unique design, and I'm going to take the valve cover off. First of all, I pretty well challenge anybody to take their valve cover off this quick. It's just held on there with springs.
look at that.
But under the valve cover is the spark plugs. And so the spark plugs are in there with all that oil and stuff sloshing around.
Right.
You just kind of wouldn't think that would work, but it works.
Wow.
And they ran this particular motor design for about 5 years, so it's not like it was just kind of a one-time thing. It was a proven motor.
That's
It was
amazing.
durable.
That's amazing.
Now this car only has 39,000 actual miles on it, and I'm the 4th owner. The car's 98 years old, and I'm only the 4th owner. The car, when the original owner had it, was sitting next to his barn in 1926, and he had a barn fire, and the car suffered some fire damage as a result of that. So they pushed the car into another barn, and it sat there from 1926 until 1962 when the second owner purchased the car. The first owner had it for 41 years, then the second owner had it for 42 years, and then the guy that I bought it from had it for 14 years. It's undergone kind of 2 restorations, the one that the guy did back in the 60s, and then the guy that I bought it from did a repaint on it, and the repaint's about 14 years old.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
And of this display that you're looking at, that picture on there is the dealership that sold the car originally. That picture is like 1918 or so it predates the car a little bit, but that's the actual dealership that originally sold the car.
That's incredible.
And I have the history all the way back to when it left the factory on July the 17th, 1921. It's all numbers matching, and which kind of makes sense because the guy parked the car in 26, and you know, nobody took any parts or anything off of it, so it's all numbers matching. And then this other picture here in front is the plant that the car was manufactured at. The time period on this picture is between 21 and 26, but that was the REO Motor Car Company in Lansing, Michigan. There's only 2 buildings of all of that are left. The train depot being one of them that's been restored by the Historical Society, and one other building that currently is being renovated into a little pub. But other than that, it's all gone. But that was the factory where they made the cars and the trucks. Of course, everybody knows REO Speed Wagon Band. They took their name from the truck division. His truck was called the Speed Wagon, and I believe on their first album cover they were standing in front of one of his trucks on the album cover. But that's where they took their name from, and that's where most people today recognize. They see REO or REO, and that they make an immediate connection with that. You know, I take the car around to cruise nights and to car shows. You know, I go as much as I can. I'm still in the workforce, so sometimes it's hard to be able to get away, but anyway, I get out and about with it as much as I can and enjoy showing it and talking about it. It's, you know, somewhat unique, so it's a lot of fun. Thank you for watching.
I hope you enjoyed that last video. We have plenty more where that came from. Tons of playlists on Chevelles, Corvettes, Novas. You can find exactly what you're looking for. Enjoy it. Subscribe to us. Enjoy the next video.